Hi friends, it's Friday, July 18th, 2014. Lynn and Jamie here, continuing our assignment in the D.C. area. Yesterday we became aware that the higher dimension beings were very sad, very sad. There was some big meeting going on. We couldn't really get the details of it, but we definitely got the tone of it, and it was very sad. So our intention with this work today is to get clarity about whatever would be helpful for us to know about that's going on upstairs. Now we begin. Pulsing the vortex, noticing how much living waters is flowing, how much grace there is right now flowing. So being very grateful for that grace, not taking it for granted. When we step up, grace is there to support us in stepping up. So right now there's a lot of living waters flowing, flushing it top to bottom and bottom to top, drawing it through us and around us for the biosphere, for the biosphere, for the biosphere. We're sitting here in grass and there are these beautiful little bugs crawling around here. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful planet. It's a beautiful world. It's worth saving. It's a world worth saving. The overall assignment never changes. Trigger the awakening. It's time. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. All kinds of different ideas are presented on how to do that, how precisely to do that. The ideas come and go, but the overarching assignment never varies, and suddenly we're in some big space. It's a big space, and there are lots of people walking. A higher dimension space is my assumption. I assume guides are walking. They're all walking that way. I'm watching them from behind, and all I can see are their backs. But I can feel how it feels, and it doesn't feel happy. Do you see all those backs?
Yeah.
And they're just like shoulder to shoulder, wall to wall guides. They say, now what do you notice? I notice they're all facing the same way, right?
Right.
They're not milling about, right?
Right.
And they're all walking in the same direction, right?
Right.
And they're not going fast or slow, it's just a walking pace, right?
Right.
They don't feel happy, right?
No.
But they're all in consensus because they're shoulder to shoulder, right?
Right.
Do you see any of them that aren't just moving along?
No.
They're all moving in harmony, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're walking together. Does it have the feel, are they going to be returning to where they were before, or are they walking to a new place?
Walking to a new place.
It does feel like they're walking to a new place. Like they're going to set up a new civilization, almost, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I say, what about the old, and I'm looking back and it looks like a telethon room, you know, like just a room with a lot of telephones in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was how they used to be trying to communicate with people on Earth, you know?
Right.
And they're just walking away from that. Or correct me if I'm wrong, do I have that wrong?
Right, it feels like packing up and walking away.
We're walking away from that. I'm saying, why are you leaving the telephone room? They said, well, no one was listening anyway. That was a waste of time.
Right.
There's no point in talking to nobody.
Right.
So we're not going to do that anymore. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Has the overall assignment changed? Not in the least. Trigger the awakening. It's just this is a plan shift. This is another way of showing a plan shift, right?
Right.
So they're basically saying the plan shift. Now again, they're showing the whole fish metaphor. and about the pond. And what did they say about the pond? What would they do to catch the fish?
Drain the pond.
They'd do whatever it takes up to and including draining the pond, right? It's like trying to catch fish with their hands, right?
Right.
Most fish don't want to be caught. And they're saying, what do I know about plan shifts? Well, I know that it can take a while, and that during a plan shift information just really isn't available. Last time it took about a week. Remember, we were driving up here and the plan was shifting, right? But we had physical things to do to occupy ourselves, and so we just distracted ourselves, basically.
Right.
Not really checking in all that much, right? While the plan was shifting. And now we are trying to live more purely, right?
Right.
And trying to not distract ourselves with anything ever, right?
Right.
Trying to be fully mindful. And therefore the plan shifts are more challenging, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it's okay. This is how it is for them, too, because they're not distracting themselves, are they?
No.
You can just follow along behind them. It feels very comforting. They have decided as a oneness that what they're doing isn't working, right?
Right.
And to stop pretending it's working and to move to a new plan, yes?
Yeah.
This is what fundamentally they were saying for us to do, right?
Right.
Stop pretending that what we are trying to do is working because it isn't. Acknowledge that it isn't. And so when they're saying you can follow us, they're saying you can do what we're doing. You can acknowledge that your plans for the fall aren't going to happen.
Right.
Because those plans don't work. Right? The assignment is the same. That's what's the same. And that's where we can derive our comfort. Right? Because the assignment is to trigger the awakening, to get the channels up for the biosphere, and to do it now, because we crazy humans are destroying our beautiful world. Right? Now is the time. Again, they say it isn't over until the fat lady sings.
Yeah.
They show me the theater, and there is no fat lady in the theater. She's not even in the theater, much less on the stage, much less singing.
No.
Okay, left foot, right foot. Keep marching. We keep walking. We keep trying. Different things. Something is going to happen, right?
Right.
These fish will be caught, right?
Right.
Do the guides ever give up on anyone or anything?
No.
And we wait for them to get to the new place and set up camp and tell us what to do, right?
Right.
We are not the center of the universe, right?
Right.
They haven't sat down and said, oh, but what about Lynn and Jamie, right?
Right.
They've got bigger fish to fry, all these fish metaphors. Bigger fish to fry. They're going to figure it out. They have to figure out the overall plan first, right?
Right.
And then the little pieces will fall into place, right?
Right.
Remember what the assignment was, right?
Right.
To establish a monastery, right? A residential community, right?
Right.
So if the assignment is to establish a residential community for light workers, to learn it for real, not for pretend, then we start right where we are, use what we have, and do what we can, right?
Right.
And we notice that being out in normal society is extremely detrimental, right?
Right.
And so we just can't do that, right?
Right.
We can't do that. So we cancel our normal schedule, and we continue to do our work.